Well, how did I choose my orientation? That is a good question. I've been asked that a few times. How did I wind up figuring out my orientation? For those of you who do not know, I'll try to remember to include either one or both of the links um, in the video in the doobly doo, in the video description, whatever you call it. Um, but for those of you who do not know, I made two videos where I came out as pansexual. I didn't didn't really explain, you know, I didn't really explain things the best, um, to the best of my ability, just because I was not sure what to say. I started making Q&A videos because I was unsure of what to say. Um, I do want to make this video to say, hey, um, this is how figured out what my orientation is. It's, who I'm attracted to. How I figured out I was pansexual. Now, in order to do that, I need to go back to school. In school, in whatever we did for health class, whether it be an actual class set aside designated as health, or if it was just a set time to say, hey, watch a video as part of the class, and whatever. I all that was pretty much all that was explained to me in these classes was male and female anatomy. That's how it was broken down, as male anatomy and female anatomy. And it was broken down as, certain small, like, small differences, like how like what the male anatomy is called, what the female anatomy is called. And then it got broken down. In high school, they actually wound up, you know, splitting us up and having us say, hey, this is, like, if you're a male, go in the group with the males. If you're a female, go in the group with the females. The boys get the male teacher, the females get the female teacher, and then they give you certain anatomically correct um well, let's just say that there are, I don't know if it would be considered, parts or what, but basically it was body parts and they looked anatomically correct. Let's just say that. And we had to find the cancerous lumps. So that's pretty much all that it was for my sex ed training. Is saying that males and females have different anatomy, and then they split us up into groups based off of our physical, whether we had a wing or not. and had us kind of fumble around with it to try and find all the pretend cancerous lumps. So that was pretty much the extent of my sex ed training. Now, I had one of my classmates actually, wound up, I don't know if they came out or if somebody else started rumors about them. But looking back, the people that were talking about this person said that said that this person was lesbian. So that got me thinking after this health class ended. That got me thinking. It explained, this health class somewhat explained how a man and a woman have sex. But it did not explain, same gender sexual activities. So I wound up, kind of asking, hey, can two women have sex? What happens if two men have sex? And blah, blah, blah. Wound up, talking with friends about that shit. Friends I could trust. So I'm like, after I wound up talking with these people, I kind of got the feeling that most of these people accepted the fact that there's, not only is there the heterosexual, but there's, homosexual marriages with two guys and homosexual with two girls. But that was pretty much, at that point, that was pretty much all that was explained to me. Then I actually graduated high school. That was back in 2006. Flash forward to this year, 2000, or I guess, flash forward to 2015, I should say. Flash forward to 2015. The year a lot of people came out on YouTube. YouTube coming out videos. That's how I found out about, cisgender and, was it gender fluid, gender queer, like, all these different gender identities, basically. So it wasn't actually male-female anymore. Because up until that point, I had thought that I was bi, just based off of the fact that I had really only learned male and female. But up until that point, I did not know that there were, all these different gender identities. So long story short, I wind up learning about the term pansexual. after I learned the term pansexual, I learned about all these different identities. One of the people that I follow on YouTube, Ashley Mardell, wound up talking about this stuff. Again, check her video out. I'll try to remember to do a link to that one of the videos that I'm talking about down below. But she winds up talking about this in some detail. And it was actually because of her that I wound up learning enough to be able to make a somewhat learned decision, somewhat educated decision about, who I'm attracted to. Flash forward another, month or so, and I wind up making my first coming out video. Actually releasing the first coming out video. Having said that, I made the coming out video saying, hey, this is, who I am. I identify as pansexual, but I still didn't know, exactly what it meant. I still don't know 100% about myself. And for me, I want to say, I define the label does not define me. So, it was really just through a series of, questions and trying to look for the answers where I came across the decision of, hey, I am pansexual based off of what I see. That could change in the future when I learn more about different orientations and different identities, like gender identity and, preferences and all that stuff. So, if you feel comfortable, leave me a comment down below telling me, if you're straight, just let me know you're straight. Otherwise, if you're have an identity that is not straight, let me know down below, your orientation, I guess. And just let me know a little bit about how you kind of figured out. Just because, some people wind up going, all the way and then realizing when they actually get to that point that they don't like a certain gender just based off of, whatever preferences they have. So, if you want, make a video response to this. Let me know how you found out who you are and what your orientation is.